Everybody in mainstream media today is so jealous of Tucker Carlson, it's not even funny. And no matter how you look at it, and I'm going to be talking about this again because it's not just the Tucker Carlson story, it's bigger than that. It goes to show you this is why the various news media are losing drastically. This is why they don't get it. They don't understand the show business part of it. First, do you believe at all that Tucker had this thing that he went there and he had not actually interviewed Putin yet? Do you believe that? I don't. Because I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have gone, said I was going to do it, have it collapse, and then I leave with the tail between my legs. I would have already had it done. At some point, either, I don't know how, but the idea that, well, I'm going to go there and we're going to give it a shot, it probably was done before. You knew it before he was driving around or whatever it is. Think showbiz. Next, the people at CNN, you don't understand something. I don't know how old you are. And I say that not out of disrespect. But in my generation, in 1980, whatever, I don't know, when CNN started, it was the biggest. Nobody's ever seen it. You went to CNN first. Look at their lineup. Their lineup, they had some of the most serious looking people, and now they had Don Lemon. It was like a schmaltz cancer that went into it. MSDNC, they never knew what they wanted to be. From the moment they were there, they kind of fell into it. So these people still believe, and listen carefully, they still believe that they are number one. It's like that star that burnt out millions of years ago, and you still see it. And the light hasn't hit you yet. It's still there. And the people who are inhabiting these worlds, to them, it's still there. Look, there are people I know who honestly listen to Newsmax and, Fox as though this is the definitive word. And that's okay. I see a newspaper every now and then. I see some people still vaping. You notice how vaping's on the decline? So there's always going to be somebody somewhere who likes this. There's going to be a roller skating rink somewhere. There's going to be a drive-in theater in some town. There's always going to be somebody who still hangs on to some vestige. Think of it as like CNN is like a vintage shop. Vintage clothing. You know what I mean? You go there and you say, you know what, this is still holding up fairly well. It was popular then. It's kind of kitschy. It's nostalgic. The desk, the guy in the suit, news, sports, and weather, traffic, this banter, that's done. So what these people realize is this guy whom they've hated because he didn't play ball with them. He didn't pay attention. But let me tell you what they're going to do. You're going to hear the MAGA movement as the new conspiracy word. It's already being used, but it's going to be used as a form of MAGA. It's not Trump. It's MAGA. And MAGA is going to be subsumed under the rubric of white nationalist, racist, whatever it is. Mark my words. And you know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's not just me saying this. But that's the way that's going. Everything that Putin says, he's already said. He's going to say nothing new. Nothing. Nothing. So whatever he says, you can hear him say it 1,000 times. And the reason why, and I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you, it's not because Putin is contriving reality in a way to destroy. No. This is his truth, his message, his worldview. This is what he's been saying since day one. Do you understand this? Of course you do, because you're not an idiot. You know exactly what's going on. You know precisely what's going on. So nothing new is going to be heard. There's no question that Tucker is going to ask about the military operation in Ukraine, about NATO encroachment. Nothing. Nothing. You're going to learn nothing new. And the reason is, again, I say, he said this from the beginning and has made it, he's gone to great pains through, if you want to read, you have to go outside of Newsmax. You got to go read this. Tucker's not going to ask any gotcha question. So, you want to basically reestablish the Soviet Union. Damn it. I'm foiled again, curses. No, he's already said this. So what exactly is your goal? I've already said this. He's doing nothing. I mean, he is. But the thing about it is, what's so dangerous? What's so dangerous is that, number one, somebody might say, this Putin's not that crazy. This guy, they told me he was some kind of a lunatic, some kind of a Boris Badenov, typical, prototypical Russian evil. Seems pretty rational to me. So this interview has, and I believe it, no edits, raw. Here it is. This is from beginning to end. Here it is. Because he's done this. The man talks. He did give speeches for 2.5 hours. I'm talking about Putin now. But watch carefully. And this is what I want you to pay attention to. This is a man, talking about Putin, who is brilliant. This is a man who has spent his whole life in government, in intelligence. We talk about KGB and FSB and everything here as though it's nefarious. In Russia, that's like saying CIA, FBI, national intel. This man has spent his entire life learning the psychological hardware that is involved in something like this. Watch the stagecraft. Watch the positioning. Watch how he walks into the room. Is it going to be a table? Is it going to be separated by chairs? How close? They're going to be. They have already, I'm telling you, they have already put together, not a dossier, I love that term, but a review of Tucker's tells. Tucker is, 50, whatever years old. But in many respects, with all due respect, he's childish, very childish, and very easily impressed. He thinks Andrew Tate is cool. And Tucker still likes, he thinks that Portnoy and Kid Rock and MMA and there's a kind of a juvenescent side to Tucker. He's a little boy in some respects, and they know this. So when this guy walks in, watch that. I don't know if you're going to see, depending upon I would if anything to be in that room to watch the stagecraft, how he walks in, how he positions himself, and Tucker's face. He's also going to have an ear. I don't think he's going to be doing it in English. President Putin, they say, he speaks English. I don't know. If he starts speaking English now, a lot of people are going to say, wait a minute, what the hell were you making us with the earpiece? So he'll have some time, and it throws people off. But he knows exactly what he's going to do. And is this propaganda? How is this propaganda? Because he's been saying this since day one. But what this is going to do, the most important part, as far as Tucker's concerned, it just elevated him to a status above Rogan, above who? He's the Mr. Beast of, he just, whatever the stratum, whatever the layer of regular streaming platforms are, he has elevated that. He is, Peck's bad boy. He is the revolutionary. He has just, I'm telling you, he's in another world. But by the way, Tuck, before you get too crazy. Remember Lionel's 3-day rule. After 3 days, they're going to forget the whole thing. Nobody's going to care. And I'm going to also say something to you, and this may surprise you. Most people have no idea who you are and don't know anything about this. They don't. I can take you to Times Square, right over there, a couple of blocks away, and they don't know who the hell you are. So remember, there's always perspective. But this is genius. And to CNN and MSDNC and the rest of these, forget it. It's over. This is the future, my friend. This is the future. Now do me a great favor. Please subscribe to this channel. You know the routine. I know people are always begging you, but like my video. It helps the metrics. It pushes us out into traffic. So maybe we can hit somebody. I don't even know what that means. So please do that. And also, put your thoughts in comments now. What do you think? Comment, dear friends, as you see fit.